You don't have the guts to be who you want to be. Scarfaced. Sometimes I wonder, do you have the guts to be who you want to be sometimes? I look at myself and I'm like, do I have the guts to be who I want to be? Probably not. You wanna know why I don't have why I didn't have the guts before? It's because I cared about what people thought about me. I was a very, very sensitive boy who cared about being judged, cared about the way I was looked at, cared about my dress game, cared about every single thing because I wanted to appeal to everybody in some way. I wanted to be the guy that makes everybody happy. But when it comes to your own personal wants, your own personal needs and requirements and requests, feels like not a single soul wants to listen to you when it comes to what you want. It's about what they get first. It's about how they benefit first. What they gain out of helping you. Sometimes people look at you and be like, why should we help you? What is it about you that we should even help? I want to see how bad you want to be helped. I want to see you beg. I want to see you cry. I want to see you sit there in your own little epiphany as to why you're asking for help. Why do you need help? Because I don't need help. I'm perfectly fine. The way that I am, the way that I've always been, I'm perfectly fine. I don't need help. I never needed help. I always did shit on my own. That's what I was told to do. Get it on my own. Grind on my own. Do it on my own. That's what I was always told to do in my life. So, interesting enough, they don't teach you about the realness of life. Trying to do it on your own all the time and still not progressing. Still not feeling like you're getting anywhere or gaining anything, no matter what you listen to, no matter how much advice they gave you. Like, you can work so hard in your life and still don't feel any bit of success from it. They don't teach you this part of life. It's always little instruction booklets. It's like little instruction booklets that they give you, like in school, teaching you the necessities of life and how to live, but they only teach you the basic necessities. They don't teach you the real side of life. They don't teach you about dealing with emotions, dealing with people, dealing with anger, dealing with lust, sinning, all that kind of shit. They don't teach you about that. You gotta teach yourself about it. So I'm gonna share a little story. Young boy, Steph J. Millz, graduated high school 2018. No, I'm sorry, backtrack. 2017 was when I graduated high school. Graduated high school 2017. Now it's like, where do you need to go in life? Do I want to go to college? College is expensive as hell. Ain't no way we'll be able to afford college. Might as well start working. Let's look for jobs. Let's look for any job that I can hold, any job that I can keep, any job that can support my living and support my habits. Well, I did that. Now about relationships. If it's somebody that you want, you go chase after them. If you want this, if you want to make it work, go chase it. I did that too. And I almost got fucking heartbroken like crazy. Actually, no, I did get heartbroken like crazy. Chasing after love that I didn't need to chase after. Valuable lesson I learned from that shit. Don't you ever feel as though there is somebody in the world that dictates your feelings and your thought process so hard to where you go through a mental depression for 3 years. 3 years of your life. Mentally depressed. Never the same. Not knowing how to talk. Not knowing how to act. You always looked at yourself with a self-pity thinking you were the most fucked up person for losing something that you actually loved and cared for. That was me. Somebody I loved and cared for, I lost that person. And it put me on this insane depression ever since. Couldn't let go of one person. Bothered me to the core. I wanted to work myself to death so much to where I just wanted the pain to go away. But the pain never went away. Never went away, no matter what. No matter fucking what. Nothing changed. Nothing happened. I was still angry. I was still upset with myself. I was still bitter. I just couldn't accept, like, it was my fault why I lost someone that was special to me. But then I'm like, why am I taking full blame on myself for trying to be normal? Trying to be myself. Trying to be who it is that I wanted to be. Why did I endure this amount of suffering? Why did I endure mental depression for 3 years just because I lost one person? I'll tell you why. It's because they don't teach you about the emotional side of life. When you deal with love, when you have feelings, when you actually care about something, when you care about somebody. They don't teach you how to respond. They always teach you how to deal with it. But how you respond, that's your choice. That's a choice you make. You have to decide on how you want to respond to a situation you're not accepting. If you're not accepting of a situation, you have to find a way to respond to it the right way. But nobody gives you a straightforward answer on what the right way to respond and what the wrong way to respond is because of how you feel. You feel your responses are always going to determine whether you are right or wrong. But nobody wants to be wrong. Everybody wants to be right. Everybody wants to be right. Being proven wrong is one of the worst things that people just can't accept nowadays. It's just being proven wrong. But they always focus on the now when it comes to being proven wrong. Prove me wrong right now. Answer this question right now because this is what I need to know that I'm not wrong in this situation. I need to know if you can answer this right now to prove to me that you are right in what you say and what you want to do. But when it comes to the later, when it comes to the foreshadowing, the forethought, the foresight, things that you've already seen that happened, how can you tell me I'm wrong? I've already seen it happen. I've already seen how it's done. I already see the build-up into what happens when people go crazy in the world. You see the build-up. You see the emotional downpour. You see that when somebody is on the verge of breaking apart, they might sometimes send out cryptic messages to let you know that I'm going through it right now. But the problem is, some people in the world don't even tell you when they're going through something because they don't want to fucking be judged for what they're going through. They don't care. They would rather suffer in silence all day and night to get past a situation that a lot of people have gotten past themselves. But they want to prove that they are their own individual and their own adult. That they don't need to ask anybody for help. They will help themselves no matter what. And when you desperately try to help yourself when you're struggling, oh, this shit ain't easy at all. You can't force yourself to get better when you need someone to help you get better. I've tried that myself. I tried working hard. I tried taking my mind off things so much to where it felt like nobody would listen. If I was to tell how I really felt. If I really told how I felt, it would have burned bridges with people so fast. Nobody knows this shit, but there is so much that I withheld in my experiences of life, what I've witnessed, what I wanted to complain about that I couldn't complain about because the whole thing that was ever told to me was stay in a child's place. Stay in a child's place. You're not ready to learn yet. You're not ready to know it yet. When will I ever be ready to know? If I've already been going through things in my life for me to know some shit. Now, everybody's experiences in life is always different. But when you have your own personal experiences, it gives you the ability to know how to respond to situations. When you've dealt with situations before like this. When you've been placed repeatedly in the same situations, you end up becoming very, very... What's the word? What's the word I'm looking for? You eventually become much more aware of the repeated cycle. And once you see the repeated cycle, now it's time to make a change. Because once you notice the circle, once you notice that circle that keeps on spinning, that cycle that just keeps you thinking that I have to keep doing all this stuff in this process because it's a cycle that just cannot be broken. It's supposed to happen. This is how life is supposed to be in this circle. I'm supposed to do this. I'm supposed to say this. They're supposed to do this. They're supposed to respond this way. When they respond this way, I respond that way. And then we just keep going in the circle because at the end of the day, I'm supposed to be the one that tells you what to do. And you're the one that's in the circle and you're supposed to listen to me because we are all in the same circle. So you should listen to me, that is. If you're not listening to me, who are you going to listen to? Who has the better advice other than me? Who can tell you how to live better other than me? Usually this mind game that they play on you where they actually spin their little finger around you and just try to keep you in this little trance, you know, this little trance, this little mind game trance where they just want you to think a certain way because they don't like the fact that you're kind of speaking out a little bit as if you're not supposed to. But when you speak out, you reveal truth in your words. Because there's other people that feel the same way that you're feeling. And sometimes it's about time for a breakthrough. Where if there's other people that feel the same way about how you feel, you gotta do something about it. You gotta endure all the toxic attitudes that you need to endure to be who you wanna be. Scarface, Tony Montana. My man was sitting there going through so much stress because he was literally carrying the whole fucking business because he said, I'm not gonna let nobody run my shit because I know what the fuck I need to do. And I'm gonna make it happen regardless of what anybody says. I'm gonna do what the fuck I need to do. I'm gonna eliminate whoever the fuck I need to eliminate. I'm gonna be my own boss. And I don't even care if the shit kill me. But at the end of the day, everybody gonna know that I went out a fucking boss. And that's the truth. That's the price you pay when it's time to tell the shit that you know. Not everybody's gonna like your opinion. Not everybody's gonna like how you feel. But would they have the courage to step up and say how they feel? Only when you do it. Only when you decide to say how you feel that other people say how they feel too. You ever notice that pattern in life? One person starts a chain reaction of other people saying other things. Other people actually adding on to something that you've already said. And it's like, nobody's talking out of their ass. It's the feelings. It's the experiences. People have shared their experiences with me all the time about life. I get experiences from people across the world when I do my blogging. And I share my experiences in life all the time. Mental depression is very serious. Because the whole time, it don't even feel like whatever you do in life is satisfying you. It's like you're trying to live up to other people's expectations. You're trying to satisfy other people's needs when you don't even have your own needs satisfied. Caring too much about what people think about you fucks your head up on a regular basis. Controls how you think, controls how you feel, controls how you respond. Way too much control going on. When you're a person that's supposed to be independent and supposed to do everything on your own. Why did everybody feel like they still have this control over you? Why does everybody want control over you? It's so confusing as to people say they want to help you. People say they want to support you. People wish you the best in everything that you do. But when they realize they don't have someone like you around, they do whatever they can to keep you. They do whatever they can to manipulate you, to lie to you, just so you keep yourself invested into speaking to them. And I'm like, any people will say anything nowadays to keep somebody in their circle. I never need to say anything to anybody. I never needed to keep anybody in my circle that they didn't want to be here. I stopped talking to a lot of people because I got tired of dealing with people. I got tired of a lot of people's shit. And I realized when you know how to cut people off, it creates so much more peace for yourself. Because you know how to find the right people to keep alongside you. The right people that you need. The right people that support you the right way. People that really ain't for all that bullshit that other people bring onto them. If you're the person that doesn't bring bullshit to them, they got nothing against you. You can choose whatever you want to do. And when somebody has this big interpretation of what you should be and always feel like they can overly analyze you and tell you that you're wrong for thinking a different way, what the fuck's wrong with you? Ain't nothing I do and ain't nothing I say is wrong. It's the truth. I speak the truth when I say shit. I ain't gotta lie for no reason. I ain't gotta make up shit for no reason. I tell my life experiences, I tell my stories the way it's supposed to be told. You don't have to sugarcoat anything because you feel like if you sugarcoat something in your life, that means you're hiding something. That means you don't want somebody to know something. Or you're caring about how they would think about you if they knew a certain piece of information. But I don't hide shit from anybody because I have nothing to hide. What would I ever have a reason to hide anything for? Just to keep something away from someone. That's the only thing I would ever lie for. But everybody lies on a regular basis. Everybody says anything. Everybody always says anything. And doesn't take in consideration how people feel when you say anything to them. But you're not aware of what it is that you are saying. It affects their mind. It affects their judgment. It affects their character. Sometimes it starts early. You might experience this shit early in your life where you got told something that you didn't like and it bothered you to the core that you were told this ever since you were young. Or even when you became an adult yourself. There were still some things that people told to you that you took to heart. You felt like what they said to you, damn, must be the truth. Damn, they must be really telling the truth of what they said about me. Why would they say anything like that? Maybe you might have shown it in your actions before. Maybe you might have unintentionally did it. But is that what you are? What they tell you that you are? Fuck no. Because you know yourself better than anybody else knows. You know exactly who you are as a person. You know exactly your faults and your flaws. If you can acknowledge your faults and flaws, salute to you. But if you feel like it's everybody else's fault, you're not as grown as you think that you are. It's like I looked at myself like, do I need to rush my life to show how grown that I really am? Just so I can fall like everyone else? And they'll be like, hey, everybody falls. Everybody goes through it. We understand. But you want to see me fall first for you to say that to me. But you never would know that I was falling the whole time secretly. And I was ready to give up because the pressure of life. Yes. Some people can hide it so well to where you would never think they're doing anything crazy. You would never think that something was wrong with them. But when they hide it so deep within, when they hide it, that is something that you just can never understand. Why do they hide the pain? Because I don't want you to see me suffer. I don't want you to see me go through it. So I can endure it all inside. But the more that I endure, the more it eats me up. But the more it motivates me to fix it all. Motivation is the key to fixing your problems. If you don't got no motivation in yourself, you ain't gonna be motivated to do anything. You ain't gonna be motivated to get anything done. And sometimes it might take a little bit of criticism and patriotism for you to start being super motivated in what you do with yourself. Because it's like, why would you say that when I could be so much worse out into the world? I could really be the bad guy. I could really go crazy. A lot of people see people that go crazy all the time. Then they wonder, what keeps you stable? Faith, will, and courage. I got faith in what I do. I got the will to endure it. And I got the courage to speak it. I got my mantra set. I learned life so well by myself to where I'm like, who thinks they can tell me shit at this point? Some people that have already been through life themselves that feel like they can now educate you, but sometimes people are fast learners. People can know some shit a lot faster than most people can even process. But sometimes people don't understand that maybe you like to act stupid so you don't be too fast ahead of people. Because the moment you talk the way that you normally want to talk, everybody thinks that you're way above them or trying to act like you're above them. And that's not the case. Never in my life will I ever act like I'm above anybody. Because life is not a competition to be above. Life is a competition to make it and do what it is that you need to do to make it. I could tell my struggles every single day, but it won't get me out of them. I can tell where I'm stressed at. I can tell so much, but a change won't happen unless I make a change in my own attitude. If you can't change your attitude, you will always find yourself in the same circle, in the same cycle. If you can't change the attitude, it will be the same repeated process. So I finally changed my attitude, and feels like sometimes you wonder you would have been better off being quiet. You would have been better off being quiet, but when you have too much stuff bottled inside, it's time to release it, time to say it, and time to just let people know, look, I know what it is that I need to do. I already got my answer and what I needed to do. I didn't have to ask you for help. I already had my answers and had my solutions. As a result of that, now you can understand. The answers were given to me because I searched for them. And searching for answers by yourself is the best thing you can do. Self-improvement, best thing you can ever do. I can look at myself in the mirror and smile and say I'm happy again. Because I learned my own problems and learned how to answer my own questions. Sometimes you gotta do it all by yourself first. Sometimes it takes people years to do that shit. You can spend your whole life still struggling on how to deal with the same problems. Sometimes all you gotta do is just block it the fuck out. Just block it. Sometimes that's the most easiest thing to do, but we feel like it's the most hardest thing to do. Because we don't want to cut people off that we care about. We never want to cut people off that we care about, but it feels like sometimes it's the best thing to do. Sometimes you don't want to do it. You don't have to do it. But if it's necessary to save your troubles, to save your stress, to keep your inner peace, no matter who it might be, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta have the guts to be who you wanna be. And that's all it is. Be who you wanna be. No matter what the fuck anyone tells you. Just be who you wanna be. That's the final lesson that anybody can tell you. And you know what you have to do to be who you wanna be. And that's change. All you gotta do. So, Thank you for watching another episode of my podcast. I haven't been on my podcast in a minute. I have been going through a lot of things in my life. I'm going through a lot of personalized issues, but I have been growing up a lot more, and it's been making me. I've been learning how to speak better, learning how to talk more, and just learning how to express myself more. That's all that you gotta do in life is express yourself. And the more you express yourself, the more easier life can get for you because you don't hold on to pain no more. You don't hold on to your problems. So I learned holding on to my problems in my life was a very, very big issue because I've hard dwelled on a lot of things, and it always bothered me in terms of how I moved, how I act, how I thought. So there's a lot of self-improvement that I went under, and after improving with myself, I have now become much more aware of a lot of things in life, and now I'm more able to talk more. So I can now make much more podcast videos and talk more about my experiences in life, what I've been going through, and also sharing some advice to people that are going through things as well. If you're going through something and you need some help and you need some assistance, I got you covered. I can tell what it is that I know. I can tell what I've been through, and I hope it can help you out in the best way possible. Please make sure you don't stress yourself out in life, because life is all about stress. But how we get through the stress is what matters the most. So be sure, like I say, visit my blog channel at www.stephjmillz.net. And for business inquiries only, send me my email. You can follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and follow the YouTube subscribe to the YouTube channel if you want to access and keep updated with more videos. Thank you guys, and I will see you guys on the next video. Take care of yourselves, be blessed, be safe, and I will see you guys very, very soon on the next video.